You are out there helping to teach your generation
Yes.
the skills to be able to solve these problems, take on these
Absolutely.
challenges.
Yes. I have a lot of faith in our generation, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the results of these actions. Hi, Andrew.
Hello, Anna.
I'd like to ask you a couple of questions today. The first one is, how can young people like me prepare for a career that helps build a sustainable future? What skills do we need?
Well, I think there's so much that you can do, Anna. And one of the things that I think is most powerful is doing what you're doing by being here at the Youth Summit, is engaging your peers. It's up to you all, and it's in your hands as you take the reins of the future. And I think networking and problem solving with your fellow youth as you're doing at the summit is an extremely important skill and activity. I think the other thing is doing what you're doing by investing in your education at University of Colorado Boulder, picking up that knowledge and skills, both practical in the classroom and experiential through this youth summit, are exactly the kind of things that build the skills and experience to help you go solve the problems and challenges of this generation.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's great advice.
I got a couple questions for you. Are
I'm
you ready?
Yes.
What can we learn from your generation, and how do you see young people leading change on the ground in your community?
So as a PhD student, I actually just finished teaching an undergraduate level course on sustainable business. And that was one of the first time when I was able to embrace such a great audience under one roof. It was amazing. All these young people, all these young students were very passionate about sustainability. They were passionate about the consequences of climate change because they wanted to solve these kind of problems. And instead of asking a question, how can I create a profitable business? They asked me questions like, how can I create a business which is A, profitable, and B, good for the environment? And apart from my classroom experience, I think the more I talk to my generation, I see that we are really about the change. We want to take action. We want to make a difference right now in this world. And when it comes to my community, I believe I've encountered a lot of people who are passionate about creating some sustainability organizations. They're not afraid of digital transformation. They're ready to use technologies to actually communicate solutions, which is pretty interesting. And I have a lot of faith in our generation, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the results of these actions.
Great. Sounds like also part of the answer to my question, that you are out there helping to teach your generation
Yes.
the skills to be able to solve these problems, take on these challenges.
Yes. Can you tell me a little bit about what the Spike Center for Sustainability Education is doing to reimagine sustainability curriculum?
Yes, thanks. We're really excited about the new Spike Center at the University of Colorado Boulder and the opportunity that it provides you, your colleagues, and as we're here in Washington, D.C. at the World Bank Youth Summit, the broader world, to reimagine sustainability when it comes to our curriculum, not only through the really important disciplines like electrical engineering and the arts and business, but also how sustainability covers everything that we touch when it comes to the curriculum. So it's both specific and it's broad. And so how we integrate that into the curriculum is a really exciting opportunity for the Spike Center as it reimagines curriculum.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, when you graduate, I'm very curious as to what is your dream job?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I think my dream job is sit somewhere on the intersection of research and practice. And by that, I mean that on one hand, I would be really happy to continue doing my research, which is on corporate climate communication and climate adaptation. But on the other hand, it would be very beneficial for me to actually stay close to corporate life. And all that because businesses, they run the world, basically. Think of all these corporations that take part in every aspect of our lives. So if we want to communicate our ideas to these businesses, we need to do it very thoroughly. We need to encourage them to change something. And on top of that, talking about my dream job, I would love to get a job that would offer me a lot of flexibility and a lot of space to be creative. Because I think that's something that my generation values a lot, because we do want to travel, we do want to see the world, we want to spend some time with our families. So it's more about like a very good life and work balance, I think.
It makes sense. And I just close this conversation by saying, what an inspiration you are as a representative here from CU Boulder. And with this whole cohort that's joined the Youth Summit, when I think about this century and the challenges, particularly when it comes to climate, I'm inspired and I have lots of hope because of what you're doing today here, because of what you're doing back at CU Boulder and teaching this next generation, because of the tools that we have now with solar energy, wind, batteries. You have the technology to solve the challenges that we have with climate, and I can see from people who I've met here that you're going to make that happen.
Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the Spike Center and making education more and more engaging. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.